And welcome back to, say it, Justybug,
the Heavyset Podcast.
There you go. Today I've got
Thad,
our buddy, our childhood friend Thad with us. And I'm joined by my sort of handsome brother.
Sort of handsome.
Kind of handsome.
The illustrious, the magnificent.
I've heard you've been called
Justybug.
a lot of things. Illustrious and magnificent's not one of them. But, well, we're here, boys. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming to get you on here.
I know. It's been a while. Or ever.
But, so how's everything going? I've actually had a great week this week. It's been a really good week for me. What about you, fellas?
I second that.
Work. I mean,
Hey, at least you're honest.
yeah.
At least you're honest.
I'm not a fan of this heat. It's brutal out there.
I don't like the humidity.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what kills it, because we live in southwest Arkansas, so when you step outside every day, it feels like a wet dog's breath.
It actually gives you pressure. Like, you just feel it, like, when you walk outside.
It's like somebody putting like a wet towel over you.
Oh, yeah, just draping it, just hugging you, just smothering you in it. Oh, it's terrible. Because, like right now, as everybody knows, I ain't got much going on these days. Like, I've been house watching for friends who are on vacation. So I've got two I'm watching this week alone.
This sounds like a reality TV show.
Dude, it's hilarious.
Chris
It really
House
is.
Sitter.
Because one of the places I'm watching, like, I have to take care of the farm.
Wow.
And I have no experience
Like-
with farm animals at all.
Like a full farm.
Well, they don't have any cows anymore, but it's really just pigs, chickens, and some dogs and cats.
Gotcha.
But so today was my first day of taking care of that, and so I went out, and the first thing when I got there, I went behind the chicken coop, seen the freaking biggest water moccasin I've ever seen in my life, and I almost like stepped on it, and I was like, and just started freaking out, and I started like shouting at it, like shouting obscenities. Maybe it'll go away.
Go on, get out of here.
Get out of here, you damn snake!
Nobody loves you. Go away.
Start emotionally degrading it.
And they
Nobody even thinks you're great. What have you done with your life?
And thank my lucky stars that thing skirted off into the woods. But talk about being on edge, because that thing was huge. It's probably one of the biggest water moccasins I've ever seen. So,
I hope you were. Did you wear overalls?
I didn't wear overalls, but I do have a pair of overalls.
I think you should. It's almost fitting. Like,
You need to wear overalls and film it next time you go over there.
But hey,
Heavyset
everybody,
on
welcome.
location. It just.
I do the podcast from the hog pen. But I looked at those chickens and I was like, man, like, good luck, chickens. I was like, that moccasin's hanging around. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, it might come back for a snack.
Give a chicken a knife. Here you go.
Protect yourself. But I mean, instantly, as soon as I walk out there, of course, you know me, I get hot at the drop of a hat anyway. But I just instantly started sweating. And then like the sweat's getting in my eyes. I couldn't see where I was walking. But it worked out.
That sounds like a terrible time.
It's good for me. It's fun. I mean, I like to get out there, pretend you're a farmer, just for a little bit. Then I go home and be regular Chris. But, well, that's my house sitting experience so far. Hey, the farm is in good hands so far. But I tell you what, if these pig bastards get out of that cage, I'm in trouble. I am worried about that. Because when I got that feed out today, they were like charging the fence. I'm like, please don't tear this down, because if y'all get loose, we'll never catch you again.
How are you going to explain that when he comes back and all this chickens have been eaten by a mox?
Like, listen, I didn't know if you knew this, but you got a bad moccasin problem on your place.
There's just one giant fat moccasin.
It's full of chickens. But, man, we'll see how it goes. Like, I still have, like, this is my first day. I still got like 9 more to go. So we'll see what happens.
I'm interested to the follow up. You know, like, how did it go? Day 1 was good, but the rest of them,
We'll update.
not so much.
But Thad, how have you been, buddy?
Oh, I'm here. I mean, that's about the best you can describe it. Just work and home. That's all I do.
How are you from our vacation?
Tired. Took a bit to recoup from it. That's a long drive. It's a long drive.
It was a long drive. He drove the whole way back.
You one-shot it?
Yeah, pretty much. We stopped to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't like stay the night anywhere. You just drove straight through.
Straight down.
How many hours?
10 something in that ballpark. Because no one say no. He drove down.
Yeah,
and then I drove back. Yeah.
I didn't drive.
You drove down?
No.
Our other friend that went
the
with
other
us,
one.
Just in case, we'll protect their identities.
Yeah, protect identities.
But and that was my I've never been to the ocean, so that was my first experience going. I've never been to Florida, so that was a fun thing.
The expression on his face can only be described as when a kid first sees at Christmas, when he walks down the very first time and sees all the presents. The look on his face.
When he saw the ocean?
When he saw the ocean. When we first were walking to the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I've never been to the ocean. I never thought I would enjoy it. But there's something magical about it that whenever that I just first laid eyes on it, I just had a humongous grin. I was like, man, I love this.
The thing is, I'm right there with you. Because, we never went growing up to the beach.
We went to the lake.
Went to the lake. I mean, we went to California, but we never went to the ocean. And, my wife kept wanting us to go on a beach vacation. Like, it didn't appeal to me. Mm-hmm. But then I went the first time, and I was like, oh, man. Like, now I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like I woke up most mornings that we were there and watched the sunrise. And it's so peaceful and just like all your worries go away. And that's what you told me. It's like there's something about the ocean that just takes all your
very
stress
therapeutic. To me, it is. I mean, just being on the beach, looking out at the ocean, and just it's almost like you're looking out and there's nothing behind you. You know what I mean? All your worries and stuff are behind you, and you're nothing. You got nothing to worry about.
And then some of the best nights, it was storming out there at night. We went out there and sat and just BS for a while it was lightning out there.
You go hunting crabs.
There honestly wasn't very many crabs out there.
Yeah, I saw a couple. They were not very big and not very many of them. He saw quite a bit of stingray.
Dude, I saw 3 stingrays. I stepped on a stingray.
You stepped on one?
It freaked me out because I've got my glasses off. And without my glasses, I'm blind as a bat, which thank God I did take them off. But I walk out there. I'm out there dicking around. Then I step on something. I feel something weird. I look down. I'm standing on a stingray.
It's struggling for his life.
I was like, oh no. So then it slowly swam. Then a couple swam right by me. Thank God it didn't sting me. I seen dolphins out there. That was awesome. Seen them out in the wild, boys.
Yeah. I only saw them once, I think.
Now I will say this. You know that I really can't swim that well.
That well or at all?
Pretty much at all. But Thad can't swim that good either.
No, I really can't at all.
And I'm going to tell you something. You need to respect the ocean, boys, because the ocean's a scary place.
You guys almost die out there?
At least twice.
I'll let Thad tell you the experience.
The best one was, so when the tide, or the current, before a big wave hits you, it kind of pulls you a little out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've been getting some pretty decent sized waves and stuff, and we were just, out there having a all of a sudden, I almost pulls me off my feet out. So I start to panic a little bit, and I look and I hear Chris go, Thad? And I turn around, and this wave, it hits us. And usually, it's over in a second or two, but I just keep hearing the ocean. I'm just sprung forward. I look back, and Chris is just tumbling in the water, too.
He completely knocked me off my feet. I just barrel rolled into it. And you have no control.
Yeah. It was, and there was, so we got kind of gun shy, and there was later one was coming, and we both, in our heads, we tried to outrun it, and so we start.
It's more like,
yeah, that's exactly what it was, and it still got us pretty good too. But that one, I for a couple seconds thought this was the end of Thad and Chris.
This is how it ends.
Dude, that ain't no lie because that's how I remember Thad told me, he's like, I could see the pure fear and panic in your eyes. And I was, because like he just said, you know, when it knocks you down, and it kept on just coming over and over again. Like I could not, every time I tried to stand back up, it just
another one would come. Yeah.
And I was freaking out. I thought like I was like, this is it. I'm like, I'm gonna drown out here in this ocean. My first time ever setting foot in one. And then it gave us both the yips. Yeah. So we were like afraid. Now I did get in there once by myself at night.
That's terrifying. I couldn't have done it.
Huge mistake.
Yeah, I wanted to get in it at night.
Oh, dude, it was because I got out there, and I don't know why. Well, I guess I do know why I went. Maybe I had a few too many Kool-Aids. I don't know. But I walked out there, and then I got chest deep, and I was thinking, I can't even see the beach anymore. I was like, instant fear, terrified. It's time to get back.
Well, because you really think, too, as tall as you are, with the ocean, if you're chest deep, because you feel like you could be hip high there, and you feel like you're 60, 70 yards away from the beach. So if you're chest high, I'd have drowned out there. I would have.
I was like, never again, never again. I don't know why I did it in the first place. Because I was really trying to test myself. Like, you can conquer this. You can swim out there at night with God knows what.
But can't swim at all. But you can do it at nighttime. Nighttime superpowers kick in.
I'll suddenly learn how to swim out here.
But the nighttime aspect of it makes me think of just Jaws. That's immediately the very first one when that a girl gets taken out there. That's
and then this tells you how. And then we were a little freaked out by it, but then like this tells you like how I get like in the downtime and the boring times we would go back. And I remember we got on YouTube. And we found a live stream of where our beach was at. So we sat we just got back from there. We sat in the house and for 4 hours just sit and watch this live stream of the same beach we were on. Just
it'd been funny if you could have rewound it and saw yourself drowning out there.
What's sadder about that is there were 5 other people watching the same stream that we were. So there were 5 other people out there that was also watching that beach at night. They probably did see us out there.
They probably did. Probably like, what in the heck are these guys doing? These guys can't swim at all.
I can tell they can't swim.
Look
at them.
We're about to witness a death.
I can feel it.
But no, it was fun, man. I loved it. I'll definitely want to go back one day. And sand gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Found that out. You track it every man. I still have sand in this chair and in my bag that I can't get rid of. Just there. Be there forever.
Yeah.
But I guess that's really the only funny stories we got from that trip, really.
Yeah, or that we can talk about.
But
we had some good times on it.
It was a good time. And I love I remember when you went to the beach and you've experienced this about getting almost drowning to death out there.
Yeah, I went out there. It was me and Elijah out there, and we were having fun. We kept getting deeper and deeper. And
that's how they get you, boys.
I just got demolished. And I actually have a picture of it because Hannah was on the beach. It was like taking pictures of us, and she saw the wave coming. It's like, oh yeah, I gotta get this. And I mean, I lost. I had like my hat and sunglasses and all that on. I lost my hat, lost my glasses, lost my sandals, my swimming shoes. I lost everything.
You lost it all.
I'm like a grown man out there, and this is daytime, so there's tons of people out there, and I'm like, crawl out, and I've got like nothing on. I mean, I had my pants and my shirt on, but my shoes were floating by. And
the ocean took everything from me.
Well, did you recover your glasses?
No, yeah, wait. I got the glasses. I lost my hat.
That's a bummer.
It was my vacation hat, and I was sad.
I love a good vacation. We had our vacation hats.
Now it's home for a hermit crab.
Yeah, you just out there just polluting the ocean.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't on purpose. The ocean sucker punched me.
Yeah, dude. And what's funny is, ever since I've gotten back from the ocean, all I've been getting, like on my little TikTok videos that I watch, are people drowning in the ocean. I don't know. I was like, thank God I didn't see this before I left. But good times, boys. We can all agree that the ocean's a pretty cool place.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Justybug, what's on your mind right now? What you got going on in your life?
I got work going on, but I want to talk. I got to get something off my chest.
Okay, here we go. A Justybug rant.
Wow.
Okay. Have you been to a public restroom, a one-holer, that you go in, you lock the door, you handle your business, wash your hands, go out? There's an unusual amount of people that are not locking the doors to these one-holer bathrooms. And I'm opening the door, and some dude's squatting down taking a deuce. And like, I shut the door. He's like, I'm using the bathroom.
He's
like,
confused at why you came in.
He's
the bathroom.
like it's my fault. I'm like, dude, lock the door. What's wrong with you? I cannot tell you like how many times this has happened to me over the last couple months.
Wait a minute. Whoa. You walked in on multiple people taking a dump?
Taking a dump, taking a whiz.
Is it different people or the same person?
It's different people, different places.
Okay.
People are running amok out there.
Just
Everybody's pissing, not closing doors and stuff.
Earlier this week, I was at work, went to the office, went to go use the restroom. Door was open, like this much open. I go and put my hand on the door to push my way in. The guy goes, there's somebody in here. Like, dude, shut the door. Like,
I know he sounded offended, didn't he? That you walked in there. He sounded upset that somebody would walk in there.
He's like, what's going on?
Ain't you ever heard of knocking?
The door was open.
Oh man!
So was he peeing? Or was he taking?
I don't know, because the door.
I could see maybe
like
peeing with it open.
The toilet was like behind the door.
Taking a whiz with it open is one thing, but dumping with it open to me is a complete.
I mean, it's rude.
Completely different.
Either way, it's rude either way. But definitely a number two. You don't leave the door unlocked in that scenario.
Hey everybody, just sitting over here taking a crap. Hey, come on in. You start washing your hands. Get your little pre-wash going over there. I'll be done in a moment. Let's not break eye contact.
Free wash.
But I love it because this now I know gives you a little bit of anxiety every time you go in a public restroom.
Yeah, like
so give it a good old fashioned knock.
I guess that's what I have to do.
Exactly. You shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't have to.
But you've been having, I don't know what's going on, but you've been having some weird things going on about this.
Also, is it the same bathroom every time? Oh, it's different.
No,
this
is all over the countryside.
Oh my goodness.
People are doing this.
This is nationwide, boys.
This is a disease.
We have to stop this.
You need to stop this.
We have to stop it now before it gets out of hand. People think they're at home. It's like
I
lock the door at home by myself.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
what if a burglar breaks in?
Yeah.
Haven't you heard of knocking?
Dude, I shower with the door open pretty much when I'm here. Dump with the door open most of the time. I just don't. Well, I like to have that draft in there.
I mean, this is your home. This isn't Walmart.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I would never go in a public place and not lock the door.
You're not going and washing up in the water fountain at Walmart, letting it all hang out.
Oh.
These people are out here taking squads with the door open.
What I hope that you experience is that I hope that you walk into a public restroom and some dude's in there like taking like some sort of like a whore bath in there. Like he's just completely nude sitting there washing himself with a cloth. I'm like, dude, what is going on around here?
He's like, come on in. I'm just using the sink.
I'm just using the sink.
I promise I won't look.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. To reverse this, boys, you've got to now you can't be locking doors. It's the only way, Justybug.
No. As soon as I don't lock a door. Oh, let me say something else when I'm on the topic of public restrooms.
Okay.
Have you noticed there's an unusual amount of gap in the stall doors
Yes.
where you can see the person?
Yes. I've noticed. It seems like also this is just now like happening.
Yeah.
Used to, I remember it being like a solid box in there.
Boys, I got a story about this. And it was really weird. I was in a public restroom taking a dump, which I hate using public restrooms. Well, for peeing's fine, but dumping, golly, I hate it. But because you never know what you're gonna walk into, because you don't know like whose tuchus has been on this. It's multiple tuchuses, maybe dirty one. I don't know. My own tuchus is on this one, so I already know that's bad enough.
You already know how dirty yours is, let alone some strangers.
But I remember sitting in there, and a dude walked in, and he looked a little creepy. But I could see him because the freaking gap was so dang huge that I could see him in there. And this guy knows I'm in the stall.
You can see him. He can
Yeah,
probably
he can
see
You know what
you.
he does? He knows I'm in here. I'm looking at him. I'm sitting in the toilet looking at him. He walks up there, puts his eye in the gap, like,
Wow.
and looks in. I'm like, hey, talk about like. Then he goes and leans up against the wall, which is like 4 or 5 foot away, and he just stares at me. Stares at the stall. I'm just sitting there. I'm taking a dump, and a grown man is looking at me through the gap.
He isn't licking his lips, is he?
He may have been. I don't know.
And that guy, after you went in there, and he did not shut the door. I guarantee you, he left.
And then
it,
Justin
and
walked
then
in.
Justin walked in.
They're like, dude,
Dude.
lock the door.
It was awkward because I'm walking out. The toilet's guns hot. So it's gonna be warming. So he just goes in there, but it wasn't a big deal to him. And I just washed my hands, skedaddled.
So you didn't say nothing to him?
No, I just said, hey. He talked a little bit, but I was like, it was uncomfortable. It was like, one place I don't want to have a conversation, a restroom.
Public restroom.
Let's keep it, that's business only. That is a business transaction.
Yeah.
What's the grossest public restroom you ever walked in?
I can answer that. On the way down to Destin, that Circle K we went into.
Dude, yeah, that was putrid.
It's not been. I guarantee you it hadn't been cleaned since they opened the doors.
Dude, I couldn't even pee in that. I peed in the sink. I couldn't even pee in that toilet.
When was you like
I know
you
that sounds-
tiptoed over to?
That sounds bad, but
Yeah.
I was like, I ain't peeing in it. Just
It was
because I didn't
bad.
want to stand. It looked like there was pee in the floor. Like, of course, I did pee in the sink. That's pretty gross, but I did. I got that little hand soaping.
Well, the nastiest one I ever been to was coming back from the beach, and we stopped at some, I don't know what it wasn't. It was just like some hole in the wall gas station in the middle of nowhere. We were in Mississippi somewhere. People had to use the restroom, so we stopped. I took Elijah in. I was like, stay close. Because, you can tell it was a rough place. And we go in there, and there's blood on the wall.
Oh, my gosh.
There's like a hole in the wall that somebody stuck their paper down into.
Oh man,
Their doo-doo paper.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, I look at him like, you just got to pee, right? It's like, yeah. I was like, well, don't touch anything.
I think the one we're talking about was Mississippi.
Yeah, we were in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Which Mississippi? If you're watching from Mississippi, it's a great state, but yuck. I'm gonna tell you something. No disrespect to the Mississippians out there, but everything I seen in Mississippi just looked nasty.
And you're
Even
in
though-
it forever.
I know, that's
Yeah.
the whole trip. In the Mississippi River?
I can't believe you were so disappointed when you acted like everybody built up the Mississippi River like it's this beautiful river, and
Well, everybody said, have you ever seen the Mississippi?
it's just because it's big. I think that's what they mean. The bridge is cooler than the actual Mississippi.
Yeah, the
River
bridge
is.
was cool. But yeah,
I mean,
I looked even out there. I was like, ooh,
yeah.
this place, I don't know, who the hell's going to get in that water? Like, I don't want to set foot in that water. Let's go to the ocean, boys.
You have the choice between the Mississippi River and the ocean. Go to the ocean.
I will say this. The cleanest bathroom we went in there was, of course, in Buc-ee's in Alabama. But let me tell you one thing about Buc-ee's in Foley, Alabama. That mug is packed full of people 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen every Buc-ee's I've ever been to has been it's always full. I mean, it's always packed. But that one, I've never seen so many people in one place.
Freaking, it's like Black Friday shopping in there.
Yeah,
24 hours a day.
Yeah,
I couldn't see how
nuts.
people would work in there. Like, dude, I walked in there and we looked at it and I was like, my anxiety was through the roof. I remember looking at him, I was like, I got to get in and get out of here.
Yeah.
And I was barefoot. It was stupid because because here's my shoes got wet and I also had a cut on my foot that opened up while I was walking.
Gosh! And you go into the Buc-ee's bathroom with
It is one of the
an open
cleanest
cut
bathrooms,
on your foot.
I had like big puffy socks on and everybody was looking at me in there. Like I heard people go, "Where's that dude's shoes at?" And I was like, I cut my foot and I was bleeding. But yeah, the clean bathrooms are no bucks. I'll tell you that.
I knew his anxiety was like through the roof, and so when I came back out, because you know what it's like, the bathrooms are huge. You know, you got like 2 sides you can go on. I mean, it's huge in there. I got out. I didn't know if he was done or what, so I sat there for a second. It's like he may already be out. By the time he comes out, that dude never checked up. He never looked around. He just would. Almost run to catch him. He was getting out of there.
And I almost slipped and fell down at one point because my socks were sliding. I was like, up. I Scooby-Dooed myself around. But yeah, there were so many people, and like, you know me, I hate crowd. I can't handle it when I'm in a big place and you can't move without touching somebody.
Yeah.
There's so much chatter. I'm just like, no. So I'm getting the heck out of Buc-ee's.
Yeah. That one is like, because I've been to Texas, a lot of the ones in Texas, and they're busy, but nothing like that.
That was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's all that beach traffic.
Yeah, because it's actually where that one is the exit to Gulf Shores. So
yeah, that's the only one I've ever been to.
Yeah.
But shout out to Franklin. He cleaned the stall whenever I left it.
I wasn't in there long enough. What was his name?
They got a guy just.
Yeah, I talked to him for like a few minutes.
As soon as you get off the crapper, he's like,
dude, it was like clockwork. He was like, I was like, hey man, what's going on? Anyway, his name was Franklin. Shout out to you, buddy. You'll never see this.
Maybe he's a listener.
Maybe he is. I should have told him.
You should have promoted him. I guess when you're in there.
But yeah, I mean, as far as bathroom goes, so my suggest to tie all this up, to reverse this bad juju you got. Start leaving the door unlocked and just chance it.
It's just wide open.
And honestly, wouldn't it be kind of exciting a little bit, like to think somebody might walk in on you?
I don't think that's the word.
I mean, you know, I don't want to be too weird.
This some sort of sexy thrill for you, Chris?
I'm just saying. I
mean,
like,
oh no, somebody might watch me go into number 2.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, if you leave a door unlocked, boys, there is I kind of like that aspect of it. Like maybe somebody will walk in. I don't know.
I think excitement's a strong word for that.
I'm kidding, by the way.
Learning a lot about you.
Oh, goodness. All right, boys.
So what do you got for us, Chris?
Down the wrong pipe. Okay. We talked a little bit about aliens in the last podcast, but this had happened like right after that. I think like the next day. Did you hear about the UFO that crash landed in Las Vegas?
I haven't heard this.
I'm a little surprised you haven't. I should have seen those videos. Yeah. But what are you looking at?
He's
trying to figure you out over there.
I don't think anybody can ever figure me out, Justybug. But so apparently, this big UFO sighting, and like it was, I think. Well, here's what had happened. They got a 911 call from this kid, and he goes, "Hey," he called 911. I was like, "This thing crashed in my backyard, this craft or whatever it was, and it's like there's like some 8 to 10 foot tall creatures in my backyard." And of course, the police really didn't buy into it at first because of what he was saying, but they had seen the UFO. Like, you know, so I guess the police had it on their body camera or something. Anyway, they had witnessed the UFO in the sky. And there's other videos too of people's homes. We have like those security cameras, and you can hear it. Of course, those could be edited too. I don't know. But so anyway, they come out there and investigate it. Of course, there was nothing. They didn't see anything. like the police didn't. There was a huge circle indention of where they said, or I say a huge circle like indention. It wasn't deep, but it was a circle of where they said the craft thing landed, I guess. But, and then there was some videos that the family took that they showed, but and people been like examining it all over the internet, like trying to spot out the aliens, but it's such a crap quality you can't see anything.
Always is.
I know, and they say that's on purpose, but I can't see anything.
Like on purpose, like the aliens make it on purpose that you can't. They're blurry, or
Yeah,
oh, okay.
like it's some weird technical
Yeah.
Not that somebody's faking it and putting it in.
But this guy pretty big. I mean, this got a lot of headline and it got a lot of pub. But what did you think when you watched it?
What I watched was, it was like the cops body cam, and they were like talking to people like on the street, like around the house, the neighbors or whatever, and they were all like, yeah, there was something, something was here, and I think like on the body cam you could see like a UFO flying off.
That's the thing. It's like, because the cops seen something and like a lot of people seen it flying through the sky, that's what makes it interesting. But other than that, I'm not buying it.
No.
It's too like, and of course, and here's the thing: if I actually experienced this and then nobody believed me, it would be awful because everybody would think you're nuts. But this goes back to what I said in the last episode. I think this is all a ruse.
All a distraction.
It's a distraction. I really think that they're just trying to let the public, like having all these things happen, so the public will start like really like buying into the UFO, the alien experience, which people already have. Hell, I have a little bit, or I'm curious about it. But I think I'm telling you, boys, watch out for a fake alien invasion.
You think though that you think that people, or they think that the world would be, there's enough people that would be scared enough to, I won't say fall for it, but you know what I mean, like to get that scared to do whatever they want.
I think, well, I'm not like I don't want to 100% believe that this is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just my theory. What I'm saying is I don't trust it. I just don't trust it. Don't trust the government. I just think something fishy's going on. And maybe it's not. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll be fine with that. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm telling you, if aliens landed and it was getting national coverage and these creatures walked out and said, and they told you that, they showed you all this technology, told you that maybe like they created religion, we created everything, we created you. People, that would cause a frenzy, would it not? A national frenzy,
Yeah.
a worldwide frenzy. I think it would. And so then you got everybody, of course, then something like that happening, and it probably sounds ridiculous. I'm sure it'll never happen, but it would cause a panic, cause mass confusion for sure.
I don't know. This is where
Go ahead. I want to hear it.
This is where a lot of people are probably going to get off the old Thad train here, because I'm pretty skeptical on it all. I do believe it could be what you were talking about. It could be a ruse. It could be, because the government's real good about, look over here while we do what we're doing over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I could see it being trying to be a fear deal, but I mean, I haven't seen the video, so I can't really comment. But with it being that there was nothing at the crash site, the videos are grainy, as everything always is in all this. It's just hard to believe. You know what I mean? But would I believe it if they actually had a real picture? I don't know either.
Because I don't believe aliens exist at all. I've come to that conclusion, but I think it's all, there's a ruse to it, boy. It's a ruse, a good old fashioned ruse, or rosé. That doesn't make any sense. But and you know that one guy you were telling me about, Stephen Greer, I think. like the big alien whistleblower, I think, like
Oh, yeah,
worked
yeah,
at like
yeah,
Area
yeah.
51 and stuff, and people really buy into.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. But he believes in aliens. Says he's seen some, all this and that, but he also, his theory is too that it's like the government like planning or working on a fake alien invasion, like doing all these things to get the public to buy in and to kind of scare the public a little bit. But who knows? And he had some big press conference recently. It's like 3 hours long. I watched like 2 minutes of it.
Yeah.
I could.
Saw everything I needed to know.
Yeah, I went to clips after that. I was like, I can't watch 3 hours of this dude. But
Where's the Spark Notes version of it?
and maybe they're completely right. Maybe he's right. But he was like, basically saying like, be concerned about this. I would be very concerned. And he had this nervous energy about him. But who knows? He could be a kook. He could be real. I don't know.
Can't trust anybody these days.
That's my thing. Like, what can you trust? You couldn't.
I mean, you can't even trust going into the bathroom, let alone somebody telling you that there's aliens out there.
Oh man. But yeah, that's where I stand on, and I'm not buying into that. The Las Vegas thing. I just think it's all something's weird.
I mean, everybody's carrying a high quality camera in their pocket nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like when we were kids and you didn't have anything. Everybody's
We
got
had a
a cell
Polaroid.
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like it was filmed like with some sort of potato.
Yeah,
Like, what is?
it's not
what was
like
this?
the Gimli film, a Bigfoot, where it's all shaky and grainy and can't make it out.
But boys, I'm tired of talking about aliens because I got a confession to make, and we're talking food confessions.
Huh?
I always love trying to transition into something else. So, when me and Justybug talked about, well, what are we going to talk about this week? What are we going to talk about, Chris?
This is how it always goes. What are we going to talk about? I have no idea.
I don't know. What do you want to talk about? And wasn't this your idea?
Yeah, this was my idea.
Better than my idea.
MTV.
We're going to get to that. All right. So food confessions, fellas. Food confessions. It's either a time of, it could be really whatever you want it to be. But I'm going to tell you one of mine. This is kind of, I didn't know if this qualified for a food confession, but anyway, I'm going to go for it. When I was a kid, and I don't know why I did this, but I just did weird things. I used to go in the kitchen, and we would, in the refrigerator, we had maple syrup in like that little squeeze bottle. And I remember going there and I'll pop it open, take a shot of syrup.
Oh,
and
gosh.
I would act like in my mind, it was like I was taking a shot of whiskey. And I was a kid. Like, where did I even learn this? I don't know. And after I would take a shot of maple syrup, I'd put it back up. I would go get a toothpick. I'd walk in I think it was Mom and Dad's room because they were in the living room. And I would act like I was smoking a cigarette. And I don't know why I did this.
Who are you trying to be?
I don't know. Maybe I'd watch like a James Dean movie or something. I don't know.
I was going to say, you're trying to be an adult, but like from the 60s. It wasn't even a present day.
Because I'll
adult.
never forget, I would like drink a little bit of syrup, which is probably like foreshadowing of just horrible things that come for me in my life. And then I would go get a toothpick. I'd lay there and be like, it's really good to own lamb, boys.
Trying to be Eddie Valiant from Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, maybe that's why. Honestly, I watched Roger Rabbit every day as a kid, so that could have been what it come from. I don't know. I don't remember what the real reason was, but that's a food memory.
I've got one. I know you enjoy this food memory
Or food confession.
or food confession. When we moved out of the rock house, we had that big deep freeze, and we had to like clean it out before we moved. And down in the bottom of that deep freeze, no telling how many years old this was one Sanderson Farm corn dog. Now, people are probably thinking, what the heck's Sanderson Farm corn dog? They don't make these anymore. Mom used to get them from Sam's Club and the big box. They discontinued them. This was like our favorite corn dog. Well, there was one down in the bottom of the freezer that was literally probably a couple years old.
It was older than that.
And
because they had stopped making them for a while.
And I found it, I heated it up, and I ate it. Chris was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, "This is the last chance I have to eat one at least." It was, it was a little freezer burnt, but it tasted fine.
That was what was funny because people who don't know Justybug growing up, Justybug, the only thing he ate, which I know you know this, was plain and dry hamburgers, pizza, chicken strips, or corn dogs, and plain and dry hot dogs.
Heck, my name on PlayStation, Xbox is Corn Dog.
Yeah, he Justin ate corn dogs so much. That was his PS name. Also, your email is Corn Dog.
A big fan of corn dogs.
Dude loves his dogs. But I remember seeing that. Like you were like breaking it, like you were like some like ice climber or something, like chipping the ice away, like it was a national treasure. You're like, oh my gosh. And you would sit there and enjoyed it. And I'm glad I got to experience that. Something you love, it's the last of its kind.
There was one last time I could eat one of those. And it was an experience.
Was it good?
It was good.
Never didn't taste. Oh, you said it was freezer burnt.
A little freezer burnt.
Nothing wrong with that. Just shake it off.
The heat fixed it.
It melted away.
What's one of your food confessions, Dad?
Well, this is more just of a story too. It wasn't me, but I was there to experience. It involved one of our buddies. It was one of my neighbors, and they were over. He's over at the house, and my parents are very much. They don't like to get rid of anything. They don't. So it was kind of like the same kind of story yours was. We found in the cabinet some Yoo-hoos that were severely out of date, and not refrigerated. They were in a cabinet there. So we another buddy, and we dared him to drink one, and he did. He threw up. It was yeah. But it was like, why keep something that long, and
you might want it one day. You might need it.
You never know when you're going to need a Yoo-hoo. And it was a bad experience for him, not for me. I loved it. I thought it was the best thing ever.
Did it taste good to him?
Huh?
Did it taste good?
No, he threw up. I mean, almost immediately.
So was that putrid?
Yeah.
I thought made his stomach upset.
No, it was immediately.
Yeah, Yoo-hoo seems like something I wouldn't keep for a real long time. I had one time drinking some like 12-year-old grape juice, some like sparkling grape juice. And it's funny because this has actually been a few months ago. It's embarrassing to admit, I know.
This is when you were an adult.
I was up late one night getting weird, and we have a bottle of it. I'm just being honest. Anyway, we got a bottle of it. I was like, I looked it up. It was like premium grape juice. I was like, man, that sounds so good. I was like, and I looked it up. And people were saying it was like it had a cork seal and everything. They were like, well, if it's sealed like that, it'll last forever.
Forever's a long time.
Well, okay, let me tell you this. I put it in the freezer. I was like, I'm going to take a chance. What the heck? I put it up in the freezer and I popped it. I smelled it. I was like, it smells like grape juice. Took a little swiggy poo. I was like, it tastes fine. I killed the whole bottle.
Oh, my gosh.
Boys, I'm going to tell you something. A few hours later, and I wasn't even planning on telling anybody this. I woke up like early morning, and I just sit there, and no lie to you, it was uncontrollable. I'm thinking I need to get up because I'm about to puke. But remember, I had just had surgery, so I couldn't use my arm, so I have to get up out of that huge bed. I puked everywhere. All over myself, the bed, and I was like, what have I done?
So this is why you puked all over yourself. I knew you puked all over yourself.
How did you know?
I thought you told me that you puked on.
Okay, yeah, that's
you told
why.
me you puked on yourself. You couldn't get out of bed because your hurt arm. I just thought you had gotten sick, but no, you drank some 12-year-old juice.
Well, I did get really sick right after that, but no, these are a little unrelated, I think. But it was awful. The smell, and then just sitting there because you're a grown man making that type of decision. I was thinking, what am I doing? Like why am I drinking this old ass grape juice for?
Why were you drinking that old
Like I said, I was up late one night getting a little weird. I was like, I'm going to try this out, see what it's like.
This is like the root beer story all over again.
Oh, God, yeah.
I think it's all right.
Little did I know this root beer had fermented into some mustard gas that was going to kill us.
Well, I'll tell one of myself that you were there for this or witnessed. Yeah. So I didn't know. I'm just not worldly enough at all. I didn't know you could do eggs in the microwave. You could put a plate over them or whatever, and they would cook. Well, only eggs I had in my fridge were like 4 or 5 months out of date.
Ugh.
This was like in March or April.
Ugh.
And they had gone out on like Christmas Day, I think is when they went out. And of course, I was like, eggs don't go bad.
Yeah, we had a whole like an hour conversation about this.
They're in the fridge. They don't go bad. We did the full float test thing.
It's
and
cold. It's fine.
Because coming from a man who drank expired grape juice and got sick, it's like, do you really want to take a chance on expired eggs?
And I did. I cooked it, and it cooked right in the microwave. But I took one bite. I didn't get sick off of it, but it definitely was.
I couldn't believe it didn't have like a funk. Like a weird
They were-
smell.
I think I tried one. It was fine.
It was fun. I'm telling you.
Microwave eggs ain't my favorite, but
Eggs are fine. Oh, yeah. If you'd have cooked it in a frying pan, it would have been.
delicious.
You'd have never known. That's what I'm telling you. Eggs are fine. Expiration dates are just an opinion.
It's just a guideline more than a rule.
I'm just going to start keeping expired eggs just because. Just to prove people wrong. You can't eat that. Well, hell yeah, I can.
can't.
I want to microwave this thing.
I'll show you.
But you got another one? Justybug?
There was this one time, me and Rybuns, I don't remember where we had gone, but we had stopped at Walmart to get a snack before we came home. Well, my snack that I got was an entire cake. They had a Reese's peanut butter cup, like one of those round cakes.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you. I've never tried those.
It was good. So we're driving back home. Ryan's driving. I'm in the passenger seat. And I bought me some plastic forks. And I'm sitting there eating this cake.
Well, you couldn't even wait. You just,
While we were driving home.
that's so funny. You couldn't wait till you got home.
That's how fat I am. And then went home and ate a little more, left it on the counter, and the next day I got up and went to go eat some more, and some ants had gotten into it.
Oh gosh.
But
yeah,
yeah.
made you sad. I just love the image of you popping this open in the vehicle and just going to town on it.
Yeah, Ryan, from time to time, we'll be talking about food or whatever, and I'll say something. He'll be like, "This is the guy that ate an entire cake for a snack." Just calling me out on it.
Snack. Oh, I got something like that. I remember one time, I love pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
I remember I said as a kid, like, I remember thinking and saying as a young kid, like, man, I wish I could have just a whole pumpkin pie to myself, which tells you a lot about me. I remember going to the store. This is like, I don't know, it's been some years ago now. I remember getting a whole pumpkin pie and a thing of Ready Whip. I just got down in my underwear, put on some Scooby-Doo, and I didn't even cut a piece. I was just like, hey, get a thing. Let's pop her in. And it was an enjoyable moment, but then you have that self-realization as like, what am I doing with my life? Like,
What's wrong with me? I just sat down and ate an entire pie.
Yeah,
I sat down and ate an entire cake.
I just ate basically like the whole middle of it. I was like, well, I'm sick now. So,
Yeah, I had one. So, have y'all ever been to Shoney's? You ever been to a Shoney's?
never been. I've heard you talk about them a lot. I
Oh my
want to
gosh.
go to
This is
one.
one of the greatest things ever. Well, a couple years ago, I'd gone on vacation to Nashville, Tennessee. Well, there's no more Shoney's in Arkansas, but Tennessee has a few still. We were coming back. Well, Shoney's also has, besides their amazing breakfast buffet, they have the strawberry pies. I wouldn't say that the greatest pies in the world, but they just take you back to a childhood time. They really gave up on their strawberry pie making as the years went on. But so I bought two because I was like, I don't know when next time I'm going to be at a Shoney's. My intent was when I got home, I was going to eat one, and that way I'd have 2 pies to enjoy for long. I sit there that night and ate both of those pies. And I'm sitting there looking at these 2 empty pie tins, and I'm like, man, I have a problem. It's
like, what have I become?
Though.
Those moments are always so funny too. When you have that just that quick moment of like, what am I doing? Like, what have I done? I've had many of those. I remember that pie experience. This is not really a confession, but you know Strawn's in Shreveport?
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, they're famous for their pies, or like their strawberry pie. Remember last time I was down there, I was going to bring 2 pies home. I got a strawberry and banana pie. And they were busy about to close up, and I was like, can I still order one? They're like, yeah, like we can make you a fresh one in 5 minutes. So make me a fresh pie in 5 minutes. So already I'm like, something seems a little fishy. So I go to check out, buying 2 pies. Guess how much they charge me these 2 pies? 2 just regular little pies.
Like a normal size pie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming it's high. Like,
well, just what do you think it would be?
$30 a piece.
Ooh.
That is exactly right.
Really?
I paid a little
piece?
over. Yeah, I paid a little over $60 for these pies.
Good night.
It
better be fresh.
I was like $60. I was thinking, are these magic pies? I was like, was this gonna make me like grow my hair back or something? But and I'll be honest with you, I mean it's good, but for that,
It wasn't
no.
$60 good.
Hell
like,
no.
so when they told you the price, did you just feel like obligated because they stayed a little longer? Make your pies?
That's
because you would have been a major jerk that they made those pies, and he's like, no thanks.
Yeah, and I should have asked, and I could have asked, but I just you don't know. You
That's
just
a lot
assume.
for a pie.
Man,
I was like, they told me it's like it's like $60 for 2 pies.
You should have said no thanks and went and got you a couple Marie calendars.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I was like, I didn't want to be a douchebag. But they were sweethearts. But I should have known. I should have clarified as my.
I'm sure they were
fault.
extremely happy. We're about to make $60 off this dude.
They may just see me and be like, "Hell, jack the price up, boys. He's gonna pay top dollar
He'll
for some
pay
pies."
whatever you say. I promise.
Have you seen this fat Baptist? He'll pay whatever we say.
He's a real born sucker. This one. What about a drive-through? You ever know, like, because I know one time. Do you remember when McDonald's was doing? Was it 2 for $5 or buy one and get one free on like Big Macs, and they had a few other options?
They've got that going on right now.
Are you serious?
Buy one, get one for $1.
Tell me. No, I don't.
Big Macs, quarter pounders, 10-piece McNugget,
A McNug?
and something else. Some sort of chicken sandwich. Not the McChicken, whatever their high dollar chicken sandwich is.
But one time they had this going, and I was going to see Ryan on this day and hang out with him and the Grubs. I knew I was going to be there all day, so I was like, I'm going to go get me a couple Big Macs and a fry just to sit there and eat on them.
Have one now, one for later.
Boys. I don't know why I did this. I guess I do know why, because I had a major problem. But I went to the drive-thru. I was like, and I just it came at me out of nowhere. I was like, what do you want? I said, I want 6 Big Macs, 2 large fries, and 2 sweet teas. And then even saying it, I was thinking, what am I doing? And I'm by myself. There ain't nobody else in here. And I was like, Chris, what the heck are you doing? But then in my mind, I was like, I'm going to eat this all day. And of course, you pull up there, and she's like, what, you feeding the whole family? Nah, just for me. But and I went there. I ate 1 Big Mac. 10 minutes later, I ate another Big Mac. Boys, in about 2 hours span, I've eaten 5 of those Big Macs.
Golly.
Talk about being sick and ashamed of yourself. The life doesn't get much lower than that. Delicious though.
When I was in college for that very short stint that I was, I went, and of course, being a broke college kid, what I would do, I would go to McDonald's and I would order for lunch. I'd order a double quarter pounder meal, but then I would get another double quarter pounder sandwich. And I would say, well, that's what I'm going to eat for dinner. It got to the point where I was eating the meal, the burger, 2 apple pies, and a large drink for lunch. For lunch. And there's a wonder why I gained a freshman 45.
Freshman 45 pounds.
Yeah, in a semester school, I gained 45 pounds because that's all. They called it the Thad.
You were there so much. Your order had its own name. I was I remember at one point, I'm still big, but at this point I was a ton bigger, or a lot bigger. I remember eating when the China buffet at Nashville, the older version before it swapped over. That was my favorite place to go to. I remember at one point, me and a friend of mine were going there like 5 days out of the week.
5 days of all you can eat Chinese buffet.
That is not an exaggeration. Talking about feeling sick and putting the weight on. Talking about living recklessly. But man, I love that place. Or loved that place. But good times and bad times. You got any more?
Not that I can think of. I mean, there's plenty of times where I've eaten a ton of food.
Oh yeah, we could sit here all night. I could have 1,000 episodes on just the crap I've overeaten.
Well, one thing I'll say is anytime in our household when something is made is like a free for all. Like you may be sick as a dog. But you have got to go in there and eat. Because you know one of these other fat mofos is going to go in there and eat. Him or Right Bone is like...
We're all hating each other.
Like, I don't know, Mom makes homemade fried chicken. We'll eat a normal amount. And then there's still however much, more than enough for everybody to have like multiple meals. But we're like, man, I better go in there and eat because if I don't get any now, it probably won't be there later.
Hey, when there's pancake chicken out, or really it could have been whatever.
Yeah,
but
I mean it's whatever. I just use the chicken as an example.
My favorite thing of growing up was I'd always buy like a box of Debbie cakes or something up there, and somebody, it was all of us were doing it. Whoever would open up the box first would get one out, but would close the box to the back and then push it and then wait for somebody to open the front of the box like they're the first ones in there.
Yeah.
There was several times where I remember Dad getting in there and like, what the heck is this? And there would be like one left because he thought the box hadn't been touched.
Yeah, to his knowledge, it's completely sealed. He pulls it away from the wall and it's opened up on the back.
He's like, who ate all these? No one good and well at who it was. And we're all like, I don't. Whichever brother wasn't around was the one that got blamed.
Oh, man, yeah.
But, I remember me and you hiding
Dad's cookies. Dad loved Famous Amos chocolate chip cookies. And he bought a box just for himself. I mean, a little treat for him. He doesn't ask for much. Lord knows Dad doesn't ask for much. Just one box of cookies. We find him. He had hid them from us. We stumbled upon him and we were like, this son of a gun.
Yeah, we were like, me and Justin had like a conference about it, a powwow. We're like, can you believe that Dad hid these cookies? Dad, who's breaking his back, providing for us. He just wants one thing to himself. We were like, no. I'm like, no, this ain't right. He used to be sharing these cookies with the whole family.
So we hide them from Dad. And then Dad gets home from work. He's drenched in sweat and, had a rough day. He goes for that little treat, that little bit of happiness. And he's like, what did you boys do with my cookies? Thinking that we ate them.
That was funny. No,
he was upset.
And then once he figured out we hid them from him, it made him even more mad.
Yeah.
But that's so funny. But I remember this will be my last one. This is a food confession. Really, actually, There's a list of dad stories that I've got about him and food that are pretty funny. I'm just going to go ahead and tell them. Who cares? I probably told him some of them before. But I remember opening the Twinkie box. They had some Twinkies up in there. I'll try to run through these fairly quick. And I looked up in there, and I opened one up. You couldn't see through them, these ones, and it was green. I was like, whoa. Well, I threw one away, but I left the box up there because I didn't want Dad to think that I ate them all, because I knew he wouldn't believe me. So I was like, he'll open it up and look at it. Well, I forget about it. Time goes on. I see Dad, don't even know what he's doing. He's like, whoa, and gets up and runs off. Mom's like, what the heck's going on? He's like, I gotta get the taste of this Twinkie out of my mouth. I was like, oh yeah, Dad, by the way. I was like, I forgot to tell you, I opened up one of those Twinkies and was green. He was like, why didn't you tell me about this? I was like, well, I figured the man would have looked at a Twinkie before sinking his teeth into it.
You find rotten Twinkies, you just put them back in the cabinet. You don't throw them away.
Then I told him, I was like, Dad, I was like, I knew if I threw these Twinkies away, you would never believe me. You would have thought that I ate them all. He's like, from here on out, if one's rotten, throw the rest away. He's like, well, I'm not doing this again. The second Dad story. Remember Dad making his homemade peanuts?
Yeah.
That stunk. I hated them, but he loved them. But anyway, he always had a bowl on his nightstand, his coffee table beside his chair. Or
his end table.
Yeah, end table. Always had a bowl of peanuts sitting there. Well, our dog, Kinsey, I'd caught her jumping up in there, and she was in his bowl licking his peanuts. Like, hey, like, get out of there, shoot her away. Well, Mom also caught her, so multiple people have caught this dog. Dad comes home from work, and he's took a shower, sitting there relaxing, eating his peanuts. And I remember, I'd forgot all about it. I remember he was eating them. He goes, ugh. But these peanuts kind of taste like Kinsey's breath. So I was like, oh, God. I was like, Dad. So I forgot to tell you. It was like, I saw Kinsey up in your bowl licking all the salt off these peanuts earlier. He was like, what? And the mama walked in and was like, yeah, I forgot. I caught her too. He's like, wait a minute. He's like, why didn't you throw the peanuts away? He's like, did that ever occur to you guys? I was like, well, I didn't want to waste them. I thought maybe you wouldn't mind. He's like, wouldn't mind. The dog's licking all these peanuts. He's like, he goes, from here on out, if you see the dog in the peanut bowl, throw them away.
Oh, goodness. That's good.
Another one. I got to throw this one in there. Dad asked me, he goes, are the dishes clean? But I remember telling him, I can't remember. I don't know if they're clean or dirty or not. Which hopefully Dad doesn't mind me telling these stories. But it's too late now.
Yeah.
But so Dad was eating milk and cookies out of a cup. And he's sitting there, and I guess I just told him the dishes were clean. Dad's like, man, this cup kind of stinks. He's like, something smells. And Mom's like, Glenn, those dishes are dirty. It's like, what you couldn't tell? He's like, no, I couldn't tell. He's like, oh. And he looked at me. He's like, Chris, from here on out, when I ask you if they're dirty or clean, you better be to know and make sure to tell me. Oh, man.
Sounds like a lot of stories of you bamboozling Dad.
I mean, it's all true, too. I mean, it's so...
Oh, I love that from here on out.
Yeah, every time it's like, it's a new rule in this household. And the part that's not food related, but Dad getting stung by that wasp one time was so funny.
It's so terrible that we find it so funny.
I don't know. It's not about him like getting hurt. It's just like it's like, of course, Dad, because Dad's a sweetheart of a man. Doesn't bother anybody. Stays in his own lane. Good guy. But like these things just happen.
Yeah. It was like, and it's like it happened in slow motion too. And like we saw it kind of coming.
We were watching it land on them.
The kids were out there. I think it was their birthday, maybe something. Mom and Dad had gotten them a piñata to like hit in the carport, and we're filming it. And Dad's just standing there, minding his own business, and you see this wasp just coming, land on him, sting him, and they just fly off. Dad's like, ah. Me and Chris just see the whole thing, don't say a word, and just start dying out laughing.
Gruzo had a grainy video of it.
Yeah.
It was so just like, Dad just got stung by a wasp.
We die out laughing. Dad's just like standing there, it's like, Why didn't you do something?
I don't know why it's funny. Oh goodness, we've been talking about family a lot. Speaking of family, if anybody's been noticing, Rye Buns has been absent here lately, and that's not Ryan hasn't quit the podcast, but he's a busy man, newlywed out there living his life, making ends meet, living his life to the fullest. But if I can find it, Ryan had a question for us, and hopefully this picks up. Turn all this volume up.
Hey guys, I hope everyone's doing good. I miss everybody, and I hope to be on an episode really soon. But hey, it's just one of those deals. I hope you guys are still enjoying the Heavyset Podcast.
Little shout out there from Rye Buns, and here's Ryan's question.
Hey, Chris and Justybug, I want to know y'all's top 3 favorite candy bars, and that doesn't include Reese's Cups.
So if you couldn't tell what he was saying, because I don't know how well that'll pick up, Rye Buns giving everybody a shout out, saying hello, and he wants to know what is our top 3 favorite candy bars, but they can't be Reese's Cups.
They could not be Reese's Cups.
I can't be in there because that's usually everybody's number one.
Yeah, that's by far my number one.
See, I don't even know if it's been my top 3. And I love them. Don't get me wrong. I do love them, but
To me,
a cold one.
okay. One more food confession.
All right, let's hear it.
You know the 10-pound bags of Reese's eggs?
Yeah.
I sat there and ate a whole 10-pound bag of Reese's eggs in one day.
Good Lord. In
I
one
was
sitting?
like throughout a day. But still,
okay.
that's 10 pounds of Reese's eggs.
10 pounds of Reese's.
10 pounds of Reese's eggs.
That was his snack. Then he washed it down with a whole cake.
What you got for us, Chris? What's one of yours?
Boys, I'm going to give you my top 3. Not 1, not 2, but 3. And here they are. Number 1, Uno Bar. People from the South probably don't know much about Uno bars, but for whatever reason, they don't carry them down here a lot. In specialty shops, you can find Uno bars like a Rocket Fizz or whatever type of specialty candy shop. But the way I would describe this, and you've had one, I don't know if you've had one, but it's heavenly. It's just a blanket of chocolate. It's creamy. It's light and fluffy.
It's kind of like a Three Musketeer.
Exactly.
Kind of.
But a whole lot better.
The inside is, I don't really know how to explain it. It's different.
It's very light. It's almost kind of, I like kind of things that are like, I don't know if I should say elegant or delicate, like something that kind of melts in your mouth. Like as soon as your tongue hits it, it just goes, eh.
Makes you feel like a dandy.
Yeah. Makes you feel like a dandy. I'm eating this because it makes me feel like a dandy. No, but and that just kind of melts in your mouth. Like it's so good. And make sure you got to keep it cool too. Like in a frozen one. Ugh. I'm telling you, it's good. My number 2 fella's favorite candy, ice cubes. I'm not talking about the ice cubes you keep in your freezer. It's actually called the ice cube. They're probably about that big. Have you ever had those?
no.
I have.
They used to sell them at the Easy Mart down here for a hot minute. But it's similar. Like you can't let them get too hot or they'll melt. But as soon as that hits you, it's just a little chocolate thing. But as soon as it hits your tongue, it just kind of melts. Oh, so good.
What's your number 3?
Number 3, boys, my number 3 favorite candy bar, a Crunch bar.
There's a regular old Crunch.
A regular old Crunch. I'm a sucker for is it crackle or nougat? What the heck's in there?
The Rice Krispies.
Is it Rice Krispies? Something about it, like that little kind of dances around in your mouth a little bit, like that good crunch, the chocolate, it all just goes well together, in my opinion. Oh man! So what do you got, Thad?
Mine are more popular ones. I would say 3 is probably I'd just say Kit Kat and all the versions of Kit Kat, because a Kit Kat really doesn't make a bad Kit Kat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of just clump them all together. 2 would be a Payday.
That's underrated.
I think it's underrated candy bar. And number 1 is Twix. I love a Twix.
Twix is good.
I love peanut butter Twix.
That's probably my favorite. I have one that I just saw. It's a cookie dough one.
Those are good.
Yeah, I haven't tried that one yet, but I do know the peanut butter ones are fantastic. And the ice cream Twix, they're fantastic.
Those are heavenly, dude. I've eaten a whole box of those.
Yeah, I have too.
Times.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a chocolate Payday?
No, I haven't. I don't know why it doesn't sound as appealing to me as just.
It doesn't sound good to me either. I've seen them, but I haven't tried them yet.
Because to me, the Payday is good by itself. It's got what it needs. I think adding that extra to it, I think you're taking away from the Payday.
Yeah, it's nice and simple. You don't need the.
Yeah, you don't need to fancy it up.
Ruin a good thing.
Yeah.
What you got, J-Bug?
Well, one of mine is the bar.
I need to try that.
What's
I've never
that?
tried it.
Would that say that's your favorite? I know a place we can get some. Miniature road trip, not too far.
I would probably say that's my favorite just because it's kind of nostalgic. It's something that we had growing up, so it just kind of holds that nostalgic. But my other 2 are 2 that are discontinued. Do you remember the Three Musketeer Truffle Crisp bar?
Wow. What's so funny is I do, but I have not thought about that since the last time I tried it back when I was a little kid.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember it, but it doesn't mean I didn't eat it. But it's not coming to me.
It's kind of like the size and shape of a Twix, and like it has a crisp. It's not really a cookie. It's just kind of like golly, I don't even know how to describe it.
Okay, it's
almost a little bit like a wafer.
You know, kind of what I kind of compared it to. It was like a Heath bar, but more. It's like a Heath bar at the bottom, in my opinion of it. But the top, it's like more of like a Musketeer top.
Yeah, and it's like
to put a Musketeer on top of a Heath bar.
It's like real creamy, crispy. I don't know. There's just something about the texture,
the crunch, the creaminess. But it's not. It wasn't toffee.
No.
But
whatever the crisp was chocolate too.
The consistency of a Heath bar with a Musketeer stacked on top of it.
The Heath bar is also, I think, underrated.
That's one of my favorites. It's probably my 4th favorite candy.
But yeah, the truffle crisp that was one of my favorites. But of course, it's not around anymore. The other one isn't around anymore, and it is Reese's branded, but it's the Reese's whipped bar. Do you guys remember that?
I have seen those.
And it is basically a Reese's Three Musketeers. I mean, it's like
I don't think I ever had it.
It's like a Reese's peanut butter, like nougat chocolate bar. And oh man, I love those.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my freaking worst candy bar that I hate is a Zero bar.
They're okay. I mean, there's nothing to write home to about, but I mean...
And I don't judge folks, but sometimes when I see people buying a Zero bar, I'm like, man, of all this crap you could have got, you got a Zero bar?
I've never seen somebody buy a Zero bar. I worked at a gas station for like 4 years. I never saw anybody buy a Zero bar.
We have to get rid of them a lot. They don't sell very well.
Like, how are the Zero bar people still in business?
What are your feelings on the, like the Andes, the mint chocolate? Do you like those?
Oh, I'm a mint chocolate
Yeah,
dude.
I like them.
See, I don't like ice cream that's mint chocolate, but like I do like those Andes. I could eat a whole bag of them.
Oh yeah, I love those.
Yeah, but a lot of people just can't get behind that thought.
Andes, that's the green one, right? In the green wrapper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are good. They're better than I like those way better than the New York peppermint patty things.
Yeah.
But Andes, I've had a Andes mint pie once. It may have been called, I think it was a grasshopper. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Mom makes a grasshopper pie.
That's right. That's what it's called.
It's like a green pie, but it has like Andes mints in it.
Good.
That'd be pretty good. Sounds good.
We'll eat some one time or sometime. I do love mint things. So we capping it off here. Is there anything else we want to talk about? Anything we want to cover? It could be anything. It's ladies and gentlemen, this is the Heavyset Podcast. You can talk about whatever you want.
I was gonna going back to the drive-through deal, and when we were young, I remember we were probably just started driving. You started driving because you were driving. We went to Burger King in Deacon.
Oh yeah.
And we order food. It's a great day. We order our food. We get there. They tell us our order, and I kid you not, we're 4 pennies shy. And we searched. We searched the entire truck, all of us, and we're like, we're 4 pennies shy. And this woman really was like, well, I'm gonna have to go talk to my manager about what to do. And just is like, for 4 pennies,
Yeah.
Help some kids out.
Yeah, we had just started driving. The manager comes and like, I'll spot you the 4 pennies this time.
This time.
Next time, you better have those 4 pennies.
This time. Let's not make it a habit, boys, of being a couple pennies shy.
That is so funny.
We're not a charity here.
And it wasn't even that like outrageous. It's not like we ordered half the menu, and we just ordered a normal order.
Probably ordered off the dollar menu.
Yeah, I'm sure we did. But yeah, she flipped out. Well, I didn't say flipped out. I felt like she flipped out.
Yeah.
She probably thought she handled
She was
it.
too aggressive.
She probably thought she handled it very professionally.
You know, I had a weird experience at Burger King. I mean, you all saying this made me think of it. It's been probably 2 years ago, probably close to 2 years. Of course, I was going there a lot, but to me, this felt weird. Like, I went to the thing and told them what I wanted. I didn't give them my name or nothing. And then they were like calling me like Chris through the drive-thru. Like, all right, Chris, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what? I was just like, and it was shocking me the whole time. And then like my name was on the ticket, but I never told them who I was. And maybe they just remembered me, but it was really weird and creepy.
Came to the realization that you are a regular at Burger King.
I think once you get known by their name and it's not somebody you know, I think it's time to switch fast food restaurants.
I was like, one,
Whatever.
It was like, one dreamsicle, please.
You and your freaking fruity sounding drink.
And it's not even called a dreamsicle. It's called something else. Hey, I just like my favorite fruity drink is a pina colada. Man, I'll tell you what, I love pina coladas. Maybe a little too much.
Amen.
But I don't know why. I'm always going for stuff like that. Anything else?
Can't think of anything.
Justybug, what do you got for the people out there? One last message for the folks.
You go out there, you're out walking about, you know, you could be at Walmart, you could be at a restaurant. If you go to a bathroom and it has one toilet in it, you shut that door, you lock that door before you handle your business. Go out there, poop by yourself. That's what I've got.
Hey, poop by yourself. That's good.
No group poop.
No group. Have you ever taken a group dump?
No.
No.
Well,
I'm guessing you have.
yeah. I mean, you and your boys going on. Everybody gets in a stall.
Everybody just gather around.
All right, boys, we're loading up for a group dump.
Maybe that's what that guy was trying to do that peeped into the stall. You know? That's what he thought was happening. He thought it was a
well, we're not sharing stalls here. We're not double decker in this toilet here. Someone's sitting down, the other one's squatting between your legs.
He peeks in. Don't worry, I got you, brother.
I got you
Hey,
6.
group dumps for life. But Thad, first time on the show. We actually left a lot of meat on the bone but we can do another one. There's a ton of stories we could share, but we'll get there. We will get there because really my trust issues that I developed from you two. But I guess that's a story from another day. Always picking on little Christopher here.
I don't remember it like that.
Well, that's how
I don't remember it like that either.
But anyway, Thad, what you got for the people out there?
I don't know who makes them, but the people who make the zero bars try really hard, and they need to stay in business. So go out and buy a zero bar and keep them in business.
Keep them in business. I hope those rat bastards shut down, personally. But the hell with you. The hell with zero bars. Whoever makes them. I'm tired of it. All right, I'm sick of the zero bars. I've had enough.
Don't wish ill will on John Zero.
John Zero. But everybody, as always, go to the Heavyset Podcast Facebook group. Join the group. Not much goes on in there. But, hey, if you want to follow the podcast, it's a great place to follow it, I suppose. And also, go subscribe to the Heavyset Podcast YouTube channel. That's right, J-Bug. I said YouTube channel.
YouTube?
The Heavyset. Heavyset is just one word. Go like and subscribe. Let your hair down. Get a little nasty in there.
I would like to say, too, trying to grow the Heavyset Podcast on TikTok.
I wasn't even going to bring that up. I forgot. Yeah, we have a TikTok page now. So, and it's the same. It's the Heavyset Podcast. So, trying to get that. I'm trying to grow that to where we can start going TikTok lives.
Yeah.
But you got to have 1,000 followers. So I'm in the process.
Got a ways to go. We've got 10.
I'm working hard every night. Trust me. I'm banned right now because I've been trying to create all these follows.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, but hopefully the ban's lifted soon. And if you want to send us an email, the Heavyset Podcast at gmail.com. And that's all I've got. Good to be with you boys. Good to see you boys. Love you guys. Love you. Thanks for watching. And we will see you soon. And this has been the what, J-Bug?
Heavyset Podcast.
All right. Bye.